Mikey and Rinne stay in. Oh yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to Mikey and Rinne Stay In. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Rinne.
Corinne's really excited with me right now because we're driving and recording our show. Got anything to say about that, traffic cop?
Well, I just don't think it's smart or safe.
But it's fun.
Something.
We're ready to be parents. At least one of us is. That person is in the passenger seat. So we're headed to Eugene, Oregon to go and hear Ana DeFranco sing for us in concert.
That's right.
Yep.
Mikey's first time and my, manyth time. Yeah, I'm excited.
She's really pumped. Anybody who listens to the show regularly or knows Corinne knows that the tone of her voice is excited.
I'm just nervous. I don't like doing distracted things in the car. It makes me nervous.
I know, but I'm driving perfectly well. I have the microphone wedged in my crotch. I'm using one hand to drive, which I normally would be, and I'm just looking out at the scenery and talking. We'll make it a brief episode today, guys. Do you want me to start?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, here we go. Here we go. So, yeah, I am going to start with a bindle. So, my bindle, and I don't know if it's like a relative bindle, but it's just something that I'm doing, and it's kind of to save money, but it's also to, I think, make a smart decision with money. So, 2020 election is coming up. I used to feel like you should give early and often to the candidate that you really believe in, but I don't believe that as much anymore. And I kind of think what I want to do is I want to volunteer right now, and until we have, until the election, but I really want to volunteer now for people that I believe in. Elizabeth is my main person. I do like Bernie. Elizabeth is kind of my main person, but and then once the nomination happens, once we have a nominee, then I want to give money, because I think I want it to be intentional. I either want to give money to the DNC or I want to give money to the nominee. I don't think that there's a point in giving money to the candidate that I want to get the nomination until I just think we need to stay open-minded until the nomination happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think there's too much divisiveness that's happening within our party. The debates are all this infighting. Russia is now helping Bernie to sow seeds of discontent in the Democratic Party. So my bindle is save your money until we have our nominee, and also volunteer all the way through.
Yeah. That's a good way.
So that's my
spend
bindle.
Money.
I know. And it's just, I think that it's also a good way to spend money that is going to be used towards a campaign. Whereas I feel like right now it's like, if you give, $100 or $10 or $1,000 or whatever, that person could also drop out of the race in 10 minutes,
Right.
And so I don't know. It feels right to me to wait till there's a nominee.
You can also give your money to, what's Stacey Abrams?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I know. What is it? We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
God, I'm totally spacing the name of it.
Yeah, it's to fight voter suppression. It's to really get representative. It's just to make sure that people can vote.
Yeah.
People that are generally disenfranchised can actually vote. And I can't remember. They talk about it a lot on Pod Save America, but go to votesaveamerica.com, and then you can look up Stacey Abrams 2020 or Stacey Abrams election or whatever, and it'll come up. But we'll link to it for sure.
Yeah, that's another good way to just make sure that all of the voices are heard.
Totally. Well, Stacey Abrams is so rad, and I can't fucking wait for the day that we're going to actually be voting for her for president, because that's going to be great.
That will be great. I hope we're alive.
I hope we are too. Because of the recording while we're driving, or because of Donald Trump?
And a little bit of both. Cool.
Cool. Rinne and I also, speaking of bindles, we just went to Goodwill Boutique.
Yeah.
We got ourselves
super fun
designer clothes for like 10% of the original price.
Very inexpensive.
Yeah. Tell me about your bindle.
Yeah, so my bindle is
Ooh, the $9.99 buffet while you can see Rick Springfield at the casino that's coming up here. Woo! Tricky Ricky Springfield and a $9.99 buffet.
You were proving my distracted driving.
Sorry.
Point.
Okay. You're not wrong.
So my bindle is in the healthcare realm.
Nice.
I met with a nurse practitioner and an MD, both of whom are doing they're out of the insurance model of provider care, so they don't take insurance, and that has allowed them to reduce their rates somewhat, but they both run a pay what you can fee for service.
It's like sliding scale.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. Basically.
Okay.
And so it's really more of a, kind of socialist sort of approach to healthcare, because then people that can pay more will pay more, and people that can't will not. And I was just talking to them about how it's been working for their practice, and it sounds like it's been working really well.
Awesome.
One of them is setting up a nonprofit.
Oh, cool.
And
through of their business, or
yeah.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah. So their business will be like a 501c3.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yep. And so, yeah. So for those of you that are not insured or maybe underinsured and still want to get really great care, I would encourage you to look out for providers that are doing. There's providers that are sort of doing like what they would call boutique service. That's not exactly what I'm talking about, because that's not super bindly.
Yeah.
A lot of times people that are doing that are just catering to a wealthy population. It's oftentimes MDs that have, a really high rate, and they just don't take insurance.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What I'm talking about is a model where they're not taking insurance, but they have a pay what you can,
That's
sliding
awesome.
Scale, whatever you want to
And
call
is it and pay what you can? Does that mean you decide what you want to pay?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
correct.
not like you don't have to have your income verified or something.
That's a thing for some providers that do this, but not for these two.
Cool.
They trust that people know what they make,
Yeah.
and they don't need to go through their books and
that's
do
awesome.
that. And they also just don't have the man or woman power to
Right.
to be able to do that. That's why they don't take insurance.
Do you think there's a way for people to look up providers that do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. And
That's a really cool idea.
we'll link to it. One thing that you can look into specifically for acupuncture, if that's what you're interested in, is a community style acupuncture.
Right.
And so this, I don't know if we've talked about it on the show before, but this is a form of acupuncture where basically you are in a group. So you're in a room, still sitting in a nice comfy chair, but you're getting acupuncture amongst other people, so you're not in a private room. And it allows for the provider to treat more than just one person in, say, a half hour, something like that.
That's so cool.
So you might just see the provider for 5 or so minutes, go over, they'll go over your case each time, put your pins in, and then you get to just relax for as long as you'd like.
Yeah. And which is the more traditional way to get acupuncture, like in China, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is done in hospitals where
Right.
there's, however many people in a room. Like the hospital that I was in China, the doc would sort of come around and, he'd see somebody for 2 or 3 minutes, chat to their family real quick, pop a bunch of needles in, and then move on to the next person. So,
Yeah. And would often needle their butt and then needle the next person's face without washing their hands.
That did happen.
That did happen.
But yeah, so you can look up community acupuncture, community style acupuncture.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to get started with acupuncture anyway.
Yeah, it's so cool. Well, I did that for a little while with a woman in Milwaukee, Oregon, and it was I'm like a little bit like about about laying there with other people or whatever, but it was so not a thing.
Sure.
Like I just would go and I would knock out. Like I went there one time, I can't remember what it was, but it was in between. Like I had a meeting or something like that, and I had like a half hour to lay, and I didn't tell her that. And then I ended up laying and sleeping for an hour and a half, like completely missed whatever I was going for. So it's just like, I don't know. I was able to really dig in.
And I think there's actually something pretty special that happens when you're lying together in a group and everybody's healing. And
it is like there's something, not to be super obvious, but communal about it. I mean, It feels like what a nice way to kind of energetically bond. Yeah, there we go. Fluid bonded. Wonderful, Rinne. I love that. Okay, to be expeditious here, I'm moving along to my pro tip. So pro tips are, I'm a chefy, food guy, Rinne's an acupuncturist and food woman, and sometimes we give you guys treats and things that we are really psyched about. We're not doing an eating on microphone this time. You're welcome for your eardrums.
And you're welcome. It at least eliminates one
distracted
potential
thing.
distraction.
I am going to start masturbating while we're recording this. Yeah, which would be cool. So, but I'll use the microphone for it or something like that. I don't know. I'll find a way to double digit here. Yeah. Okay, so my pro tip is, it's kind of a random one.
Okay.
Use your pasta water. So
for
sauces is one. So when you cook pasta, gluten-free pasta, whatever kind of pasta you're making, the water that's left behind that you've cooked it in is so valuable. It's super delicious. If you're cooking it with something that's like, let's say, just a regular, whole grain pasta or regular flour pasta, it's starchy. So that water is really, really good for making sauce or thickening sauce afterwards. One of my favorite ones to do is, cook your pasta in the water, cook it with whole garlic cloves in the water, and then pull the garlic cloves and take about, I don't know, it depends on how much you're cooking, but let's say a cup of water, maybe even a little bit less, and then throw some fresh arugula in with the garlic and the water, and then a little bit of cheese, and just blast it up in the blender. And it makes the water, basically blanches the fresh arugula leaves in the blender, and so it makes for the brightest green sauce. And then you can just dress your pasta that you just drained or strained with the sauce that you just made.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. And it's all just it's in the way that you should, some people say, you should drink the wine that you're cooking with. So if you cook beef bourguignon and you're using a certain wine, drink the same wine that you use to cook the beef bourguignon. It's a really nice pairing. I don't see why we shouldn't be eating the water that we cook the pasta with. So this is kind of it's kind of a bindo, kind of a pro tip, but full utilization. Why dump all that down the drain? Save some water. Yeah. And it's a really delicious way to make your sauce and to keep it really bright.
Have you done that with
I don't know if we've done it together. Yeah. But we should. Delicious. I know, totally. Now you go.
Mine has to do with water too.
Nice.
Sort of indirectly. I am off of caffeine, which is so sad because coffee is fucking delicious.
Totally.
But what I've discovered is that what I really love about coffee is...
I just put my microphone down because I thought that there was a cop, and it's fucking campus security. Fuck you. Go stop kids from giving each other hand jobs on campus or something.
I saw you do that really sly, very slow
and I was like,
slither of your microphone.
I was like, that's a pretty old Crown Victoria. I don't know if cops are using that. We were in a broke part of the state or something, but nope, campus security. Ours was SASP. Do you remember SASP? Student Actions Service Police. I don't know what the fuck they were called, but they wore these little bumblebee outfits that were yellow and black, and it was all the fucking narcs that lived on campus, and they would like go around and tell people not to smoke weed or get people in trouble.
Wait, so they were students?
Oh yeah, they were fucking students. I was like, why would you ever volunteer for that? Oh my god. It's one thing to be an RA, like that's whatever. We had the hottest, funnest RA. Yeah, to be like one of the like fucking narcs that goes around and tells people not to drink or smoke during college.
Yeah.
God, one of them got beaten
choice.
up at a party that I was at, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, you fucking deserve it.
And you couldn't stop the beating up from happening? Isn't that kind of part of your training? Is to like.
They don't have training.
Oh, they don't?
No, they're just like giving a windbreaker. Like one of the girls on my
Here's
floor.
your official jacket.
Yeah, one of my girls on my floor, she was one of them, and she was like 80 pounds dripping wet, and would go around to like these football parties and be like, don't smoke weed or whatever, and they'd be like, fuck, get out of here, we'll break you. Yeah, they're not like ninjas or anything. They're just dorks that, I don't know.
They just have a jacket and a
Grew
whistle.
up Mormon or something, yeah, I don't know. Get it together. Actually, the Mormons probably weren't the ones doing it. They were the ones fucking.
I'm free!
You're welcome. Sorry. I derailed that.
You sure did. What was I talking about?
Coffee.
Coffee.
We've been drinking, not coffee.
I know. About to railroad me?
Nope. We have fun. Ooh, look at that cross. Holy shit, that thing's huge.
Wow.
Mikey's too distractible to be recording whilst moving.
Oh my god. What I've really discovered is that it's not necessarily about the caffeine. It's just the delicious coffee taste that I was really missing in the morning, and trying to replace it with all of these, there's a couple, like dandelion, like a dandy blend.
Oof.
Yeah, or there's another one that's more of like a grain-based coffee alternative, and they're fine.
Yeah.
But there's not a good dupe for coffee.
Right.
Right. And so, and I didn't really want to drink decaffeinated coffee because it's either like chlorine or something gross that they're washing the beans with in order to get the caffeine off. But I discovered Swiss water process decaffeination, which basically uses water, as it sounds, and then green coffee extract or green coffee beans, because caffeine molecules are really big and soluble, and so they can be washed away while still like maintaining all the nice volatile oils and things like that are.
And are they on the outside of the beans?
Well, this is where you're going to get into some chemistry that Rinne Dog certainly doesn't understand.
I know. Do they wash the beans before they grind them, or they grind them and then wash them?
Why would they grind them?
Because I don't know, I feel like the caffeine is in the bean.
Yeah. No, because you can get whole bean decaffeinated.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
so they must wash the caffeine must be on the exterior of the bean.
Yeah.
Of the fruit. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to know more about that process. Water, it can be used for everything.
I know, it's pretty remarkable.
Remember how our old dog Izzy died, and they, what's it called when I want to be burned up after I die?
Cremated.
They cremated her with water. Remember that?
Yeah.
They put her in like a washing machine, basically.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and they did it, but it was this green way that they did it, and it was used like a quarter of the energy, and then we got like twice the amount of ashes that you would normally get, which I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm looking for full quantity of ashes. It's not really about volume.
Truth.
But but still, it was really awesome, and like then the ashes that came out were like beautiful. Like you could like eat them. They were like, it was like light gray. I don't know. It was really cool.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Water, huh?
Yeah, hydroelectricity.
Ooh,
right?
there you go. Sure. Yeah.
Anyway,
Super soakers?
I don't slip and slide.
Slip and slide. Sweet.
Yeah, while not a chemist, and I don't fully understand the process.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't done much research, but the research that I have done is just basically that it's not a chemical process.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so
I was about to reveal that we've been drinking it, and it's delicious.
Yeah. And for those of you that sort of need that caffeine boost in the morning, obviously this isn't going to be a hack for you. But if you are a person that is, looking to come off of caffeine and you kind of want to sort of slowly wind down, I know that a lot of people will do 3/4 calf, quarter decaf, and then kind of work your way down. And you're concerned about a chemical process decaffeination. Swiss water process. So
awesome.
The one that I get is Allegro coffee, and there's several other companies that are doing this process. So you can get organic coffee, and then you can do this Swiss water process. I've
been working at Green Zebra Grocery, and in our deli, or across from our deli, we've got our little coffee area, which is beautiful. We offer really, really nice coffees. But one of the things that we have is nitro coffee, nitro cold brew on tap, and fuck me, that is dangerous because it tastes like it has cream in it, and it's super smooth, and I can just pop over there 10 times a day and just pull a little shot of it or whatever and drink it, and it's I don't know, I don't know if it's the nitro or what, but it doesn't jump all over you, and I just will by the end of the day I'm zip zang zip zang zang, and riding my bike home just dripping sweat going downhill. I'm it's pretty awesome.
It sounds like you found your drink.
I mean, I think so. Heart attack drink. What do you think? Do you want to call it? Quick episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, totally. The one thing I was going to talk about a little bit more, but I mentioned it a little bit earlier. The Russians are trying to help Trump, and then they're also trying to quote-unquote help Bernie because they want us to fucking eat ourselves from the inside.
That's right. They
want, all the people that think that Bernie's unelectable, and all the people that think that Bernie's too far left, or whatever it is, they want, Democrats to start fighting. Don't give them that. They don't even have to do that much. Let's just say, Bernie's already headed towards getting the nomination. So just understand, he's not the devil. If he's too far left, he's going to be pulled back by the things that he can't accomplish. He'll be pulled back to the middle. So just understand that there are bigger battles to fight. Trump is fucking terrible, and we all need to stick together. That's my main mission for our party.
Yeah. And then
beat Trump in any way that we can, and don't fight in the party. Mm-hmm. Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds fabulous.
Do you want to sing us your favorite Ani lyric? Now go.
I'm not angry anymore. No, I'm not angry anymore.
That was good.
The only reason I sang that is because I did start the podcast feeling really bitchy.
Yeah.
And angry.
That's fair.
And I'm not.
You're not.
So while it might not be my favorite Ani lyric, it felt very apropos.
True to the moment.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really proud of you.
For getting over my anger?
Yeah, for just having fun with me. Even though I'm unsafe and inappropriate. Thanks for being my life partner.
You got it.
And death partner, potentially. Bad joke.
Thelma and Louise's shit right now.
Sweet relief. Okay, guys, we'll be back next week. Will we? We're going to be in Palm Springs. We might take off a week.
Yes.
I know, we just took off a week. But we're going to be on vacation. And I don't know. We'll see. We might record an episode. We might record an episode with some friends.
Sure.
I don't know. We can bring these along.
Yeah.
If we can bring them in the car, we can bring them on the plane.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Nailed it.
Thanks, guys. Let's Eat at Mikey and Rinne Stay In.
True.
If you've got something to chat to us about, we love hearing from you. It's the favorite part of what we do. And then at Mikey and Rinne Stay In on the Instas.
True.
So you can DM us there too.
Yep.
We would love to do an interview here coming up
I know,
soon.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Someone fun.
So if you're someone and you're fun, let us know.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, use those fingies.
Mm-hmm.
Or your mouth.
Sure.
Get a hold of us.
Mouth works too.
Yep, you can call us at 1-800 Mikey and Rinne Stay In. Don't do that, actually. That doesn't work. 1-800 Eat Dicks.
I think that does work.
That does work. It's DIXXX. Okay, you guys, this is super fun. We're doing it really safely. And I'm Mikey signing off.
I'm Rinda.
Hey, and tonight, are we going to stay in or are we going to go out?
No, we're going out.
We're going out.
Oh, my love, go out. We're going out tonight, yeah. Go out.
I didn't know which way to go and I got nervous. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.